get started here. As far as injuries, Jakeem Grant's in the concussion protocol. That's the only injury that we have. Big picture, not enough points isn't going to win games. That starts with me. I just you look at this and you see where we had 5 possessions inside the 21-yard line and came away with 3 points, and it's not good enough. So I was really proud of our defense. I thought, man, to have your entire secondary out the way they played, it was relentless. 12 possessions, 6 3-and-outs. The interception. Just you felt the energy, you felt the passion, you felt the fight. And I don't know how you as a head coach can't just absolutely love that. And you know what I mean? Those guys to go out there and do that was impressive. And so I appreciate that. The way they came in and fought under the circumstances. Offensively, moving the football, but just not being good in the red zone for different reasons. And that's whether it's penalties, whether it's any of it. Well, again, we have to understand that you have to score in the red zone. Field goals do you no good. Missed field goals do you no good. You need touchdowns. So that's what this came down to. 9 total penalties, 5 personal fouls, 1 including myself. So that it was an emotional game, and I think that it sucks losing. But when I'm talking to the guys and just knowing for me to understand where they're at and to see their fight, I appreciate that. So I think with that, I'll go ahead and open up the questions.
What was your conversation with Terrence Miles about, and what was it about that situation that pushed you over the edge to get the flag?
Yeah, again, I saw what happened, and our guys are fighting their asses off to get off the field, and I saw what happened. So I explained my opinion on it, and I don't regret it.
Matt, late third quarter where there was a 4th and 1. What were you trying to get done there, and what was the confusion from your understanding of what went astray on that play?
When I tried to challenge it?
No, the 4th and 1, it looked like it was maybe going to be a bootleg for Justin, and Darnell was in the backfield.
Yeah. No, that's just it's a play design we've had in all year long, and I got to see it on tape. It was on the opposite sideline, but they obviously covered it. So it's just they give credit to the defense.
Coach, did you have any conversation with Tevin on the sideline?
I did, yeah. What happens is when those personal fouls are going on, you can feel the emotion, and the guys are fighting, and these guys are going to protect one another. They're going to fight, and you got to be smart. And I think after that one, I went around and talked to all the guys and just said, okay, it's time to reel it back in, right? All of us, myself included. It's time to reel it back in. So I love the fight. I love their energy. So those guys, though, when you talk to them and you explain to them, you understand that, okay, this is what's going on, and every action has a reaction. Just be smart, because what it does is it puts us in tough situations by losing yards, and again, myself included, with what I did. So we had to reel it back in. But this is an emotional game, and it'd be one thing if the team came out and just said, you know what, we're 4 and we got 4 wins on the year. We're 4-9, and we're at a point where we're just going to check out, and our guys don't do that, and that's why you get emotional. That's why you care, is because they put a lot of time and energy to come out here and play, and I just like that about them.
Do you think your own unsportsmanlike comments on that you just mentioned, do you think that affected your players' behavior in any way and maybe incited more of that in them? And is that emotion, can it be unhelpful in certain ways in the game?
No, our guys know. They know I'm a fiery, emotional guy. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and but there's also, you got to be smart with when you do things. And there comes a point too when when you're in that situation and your guys are fighting like heck to get off the field. Our players are grown men. They understand how to get a penalty or not get a penalty, and they're playing hard.
And sometimes the lack of protection that Justin has received on some of those hits throughout the season. Do you understand why one of your players would want to go have it back right away? And then do you have any problem with maybe some of the other players that then went after Tevin for doing that.
Well, they're trying to. There's a balance. There's emotion. So you got to understand. Okay, yeah, you want to protect your quarterback, right? But how do you protect them? That's what I talked to Tevin about when he came to the sideline. And then there's the other guys back there just saying, okay, now it's the part with the team, the penalty, and how that goes. So we all have to make sure that we're understanding what can happen, the consequences to getting a penalty. And so that's something that all these guys, again, it's raw emotion when you're down there. You got to be smart. I understand that, but they're fighting. And so I thought some of that said, for our defense to be able to still give us a chance and stop them on offense and give us positions to get down there and get touchdowns. We just didn't do it on offense.
Usually you got to pick Jefferson or Cook.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of tough to stop them both.
Yeah.
How in the world did you pull that off?
I know. A lot of credit to Sean Desai, that defensive coaching staff, and the players. Those young kids that came out there coming into this game, you could feel it from the beginning. They weren't overwhelmed by anything. And just like you said, Brad, Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson are two of the better players at their position in this league right now. And Kirk Cousins, I have a ton of respect for, and I think he's a hell of a quarterback. And so for our defense to come out and get the amount of 3-and-outs that we got, man, that's impressive. And that's what probably is what's frustrating, is that you come into this game and you're depleted in the secondary, and you figure, okay, yeah, we'll see what happens with them trying to throw the ball on you and do different things. And then we can go and score points on offense. But if you were to ask at the beginning of the game if that's going to happen and you're going to have a great chance to win, I would say yeah. But when you don't score in the red zone, and we had turnovers and penalties, that hurts you. That hurts you to win. And so that's the part of complementary football. When you're a good football team, you play complementary football. You don't get penalties. You don't turn the ball over. You get turnovers, right? Situationally, you're good. And then you score in the red zone.
In the last 24, 48 hours, did you have an expectation that you might have some guys test back in, be available tonight? Was it close?
No, not necessarily. I mean, again, there's the different rules that they have and the different numbers they have, and you can test in and get back and all this. There's a lot going on there. So I just kind of sat back and listened to Andre and Ryan informing me on that.
Justin lost another fumble tonight on the scramble.
All right, so it's not going in the right direction. That is both metaphoric and literal. Look at the record, 12-4, Coach of the Year. And 8-8. Now, last year, they made the playoffs at 8-8. They lost to New Orleans. That actually ended up 8-9 when you include the playoff game. And now it's 4-10. And with the loss to Minnesota, the Chicago Bears are officially eliminated.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.